The Crucible of Zarthok was the most feared arena in the Outer Rim, where the galaxy's most savage warriors came to prove their worth in blood and glory. Today, however, the massive amphitheater buzzed with confusion and dark anticipation. In all its 1,000-year history, the Crucible had never hosted such an unusual match. War champion Grixtel adjusted his ceremonial battle armor, the chitinous plates gleaming under the arena's harsh artificial suns. Standing nearly 3 meters tall, with razor-sharp claws and battle scars that told the story of 100 victories, he was the undisputed champion of Sector 7. His mandibles clicked with anticipation as he surveyed the crowd of bloodthirsty spectators from dozens of species. "This is madness," muttered his handler, a nervous Threxian who kept wringing his 6 hands. "The Syndicate has lost their minds. A human child? What sport is there in this?" Grixtal's compound eyes glittered with cruel amusement. "The Syndicate pays us well for spectacle, not sport." Besides, he flexed his primary killing claws, each one capable of shearing through steel. "It will be over quickly." Across the arena's preparation chambers, 12-year-old Marcus Chen sat quietly on a metal bench, seemingly oblivious to the roar of the crowd above. He was small, even for his age, with unruly black hair and clothes that were little more than rags. The Syndicate had captured him during a raid on the human colony of New Terra, along with dozens of other refugees who now populated the slave markets of the Outer Rim. "Kid," said the grizzled arena master, a cybernetically enhanced Korak who had seen too many deaths to count, "I don't know what you did to piss off the Syndicate, but this isn't a game. Grixtal has killed 47 opponents in this arena. He's not going to go easy on you just because you're young." Marcus looked up with eyes that seemed far too old for his face. "I know. Do you have any combat training? Any enhanced genetics? Cybernetic implants? Anything?" "No," Marcus replied softly. "I'm just human." The arena master shook his head in disgust. This wasn't combat, it was execution for entertainment. Above them, the announcer's voice boomed across the stadium, in a dozen languages simultaneously. "Citizens of the Rim, today we present an unprecedented match. In the red corner, war champion Grixtal, slayer of the Kandorian fleet, destroyer of the Iron Legion, undefeated champion of the Crucible." The crowd erupted in approval as Grixtal emerged from the tunnel, his forearms raised in victory, already savoring his 48th kill. And in the blue corner, the announcer's voice carried a note of uncertainty, a human youngling from the colonies, captured during the recent pacification of New Terra. The crowd's reaction was immediate and harsh boos, jeers, and shouts of protest. Many had paid substantial credits to see a real fight, not a slaughter. Marcus walked into the arena alone, looking impossibly small against the vast expanse of the fighting floor. The Crucible stretched nearly 200 meters across, its surface scarred by countless battles, stained with the blood of 1,000 different species. Grixtal stalked across the arena floor with the confidence of an apex predator. "Nothing personal, youngling," he called out, his voice amplified by the arena's systems. "But the crowd demands blood, and I am here to provide it." Marcus said nothing, simply standing in the center of the arena with his hands at his sides. "Begin." The announcer roared. Grixtal launched himself forward with explosive speed, covering 30 meters in a single bound, all 4 arms extended with claws that could rend starship hull plating. The crowd held its breath, expecting to see the human child torn apart in a spray of blood. What happened next would be debated in cantinas and gambling dens across the Outer Rim for years to come. Marcus raised his right hand. That was all. A simple gesture, palm outward, as if he were telling someone to stop. Grixtal, mid-leap and moving with enough force to crush a battle tank, simply stopped. Not slowed, not deflected, stopped. His massive form hung suspended in the air 3 meters above Marcus, completely motionless, as if frozen in time itself. The arena fell into absolute silence. 90,000 spectators held their breath, unable to comprehend what they were witnessing. Marcus looked up at the suspended warrior with something that might have been pity. "I told them I was just human," he said quietly, though somehow his voice carried clearly through the arena's acoustic systems. "I never said I was normal." Grigstal's compound eyes darted frantically, the only part of his body he could still move. Panic radiated from his frozen form as he tried to understand what had trapped him. "My species has been hiding among the colonies for generations," Marcus continued, his voice growing stronger. "We learned long ago that it was safer to pretend to be ordinary humans than to reveal what we really are. The Syndicate made a mistake when they took my family." The boy clenched his raised fist. Grigstal's body began to compress, his armor crumpling like paper, his bones snapping with sounds like gunshots that echoed throughout the silent arena. The war champion, slayer of armies, destroyer of fleets, was being crushed by invisible forces beyond his comprehension. In exactly 3 seconds from the moment Marcus had raised his hand, Grigstal's body crumpled into a small, dense sphere that fell to the arena floor with a wet thud. Marcus lowered his hand and looked up at the stunned crowd. When he spoke again, his voice somehow reached every corner of the massive stadium, without any technological amplification. "Tell the Syndicate," he said, his child's voice carrying the weight of ancient power, "that humanity is not as defenseless as we appear. Tell them that if they do not release every human slave in their possession within 1 solar cycle, I will come for them." He paused, surveying the thousands of faces staring down at him in terror and awe. "And I will not be alone." The boy turned and walked calmly toward the exit tunnel, stepping around the compressed remains of the galaxy's most feared warrior. Behind him, the crucible of Zarthok, the arena that had never seen a match end in under 30 seconds, erupted into chaos, as spectators fled in panic, finally understanding that they had witnessed not a fight, but a demonstration. The age of human pretense was over. The galaxy was about to learn what Earth's children were truly capable of when their families were threatened. And it would only take 3 seconds for everything to change.